of the webinar up online so people can get up to date later on. So as I briefly mentioned before, and if you joined us a little bit later, you would have noticed in our group chat, the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah has already announced that they're going to postpone sales from the original announced time of 2 p.m. Makkah time on February 9th to 7 p.m. Makkah time tomorrow, which is February 9th. So everything has been pushed back by about 5 hours. And this is nothing to worry about. It's honestly kind of par for the course. It does happen with Nusuk, and I do tell people to be mentally prepared. That time is more of a suggestion overall. So this is a good kind of preview of how things tend to go here in the KSA. Really, there's a couple of things that we do, and I'll talk about later on, including our you subscribing to our automated texts and calls to help you be prepared for the exact moment that sales opens up. But unfortunately, like I had mentioned yesterday, that kind of be mentally prepared that you'll be sticking home this weekend and trying to remain in front of the computer for most of Sunday. So if you're new here, welcome. This is our Countdown to Sales webinar, where we go over the best practices and that checklist that you should have prepared in order to ensure you have a smoother time with Nusuk sales tomorrow, inshallah. So, Bismillah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm so sorry, excuse me. So just a brief, again, overview of Noor Al-Fajr. We're one of the companies based out of the United States that inshallah will be taking Hajis in partnership with two service providers in Saudi Arabia. Primarily, who we will be working with this year is Ithraa AlKhair, which is one of the 13 companies providing packages on Nusuk. Our goal as a team, whether it be our guide team, scholar team, myself, my Makkah team right here, is to really bring back the human element to all of this process. I talk about this a lot at this point, which is that, you know, with the digitization of Hajj, we've lost that personal touch. And it's really important to me that we bring it back as much as we can. So from the, you know, starting with Nusuk registration, and ending with making sure you guys get back on your flights home. We try to be there every step of the way with the digital stuff, with the Nusuk stuff, with the religious guidance, of course, with the help of our esteemed scholars, and then finally with the ground support aspects here in the kingdom. So, Bismillah, briefly about Ithraa AlKhair, if you haven't been in any of our other webinars before, alhamdulillah, they've been working and serving Hajis from international countries for over 40 years now. Primarily, they used to work in Africa and Asia, bringing about 200,000 Hajis a year. Since joining the Direct Hajj program, alhamdulillah, they've expanded to Europe and the Americas, including the United States. So sales updates, as we know, originally the timeline announced by the ministry earlier in January was that on February 9th, specified country package sales would begin. So those are the custom packages that you see on Nusuk, and that on February 14th, the global package sales would begin. And now I'll go ahead into details in a little bit as to why, if you are in the United States, you should be focused on February 9th. But just keep in mind that custom packages are for the 9th, and if you're someone in the United States and on a US passport, you should be focused on the 9th. That is going to be the day for your sales. Likely there will be no quota left for you to participate in the second round on the 14th. And then the 14th is the custom packages for available to other countries. Okay, and so this is just a quick screenshot we threw here into the presentation that we had sent out earlier on our social media channels, including our WhatsApp group, informing you all that the time has been changed by the ministry. They announced it and sent it over to all the service providers, including Ithraa AlKhair, that instead of 2 p.m., it'll now be 7 p.m. Saudi time, which which corresponds to 11 a.m. New York time, 10 a.m. Chicago or Dallas time, 9 a.m. Denver time, and 8 a.m. Los Angeles time. I think these timings are going to be a lot better, inshallah, so everyone can get some sleep before they wake up and have to sit in front of the computer for these sales, right? So the other thing we've done is, of course, with the way everything is happening, we want to make sure we keep you prepared for any and all situations. And so what we have gone ahead and done is, signed up using our call center services for the automated call and text option. We don't want to automatically put people in that. This is something you should be able to subscribe to so that if you don't want to be part of it, you're not being forced to be part of it. So if you take what do you call here? Scan the QR code here, it'll take you to the Google form. If you complete that Google form, inshallah, we'll go ahead and subscribe you to the automated text alerts and the automated calls. So that way, God forbid you've fallen asleep and didn't wake up in time for sales, you'll get that reminder call from our automated system, as well as the text with any sort of pushback on time or anything like that. In addition, we'll go ahead and share this information in the group chat. You can always give us a call if you don't receive it. Okay, the other thing we wanted to briefly talk about before we get into too much detail is Nusuk by the numbers, to give you an idea of the whole scope of what Nusuk is, right? So with Nusuk, there are 126 countries that are going to be served this year. From what I've been told by the service providers, 104 of them are going to be during that first round of sales with custom flights available. Now, each of these 126 countries is then allotted a quota, basically a percentage of this 35,000 that you're seeing, based on the Muslim population in those countries, right? So for example, in the United States, based on the percentage of Muslims we have here, we've been given an approximate visa quota of 3,500. The reason I say approximate is that this is similar to the number from last year. The number does not get released by the ministry, the exact number, in advance of sales. So we'll use 3,500 as our number, just to give you an idea. In addition to the country-specific quota, there's also the quotas of the camps that should be taken into consideration, which for Al-Muasim camp is 30,000, for Majal al-Qabsh is 5,000. And this 5,000 applies to the whole entire world. So what is the point of bringing up all this stuff? We're going to talk about two things, inshallah, during this presentation. Number one is we're seeing again and again and again, people are configuring and people are uploading, choosing public packages when they are residents of the United States. Dear brothers and sisters, you can go ahead and put that in your cart, but what's going to happen tomorrow when sales opens up is that it is not going to be available. Nusuk has already made it clear, the ministry has already made it clear, the first round of sales is only going to be custom packages. And so any package that you see on Nusuk that's showing up as a public package will disappear from Nusuk before sales begins. So what we're telling you is if you're from the United States, already filter out the public packages, only focus on the custom packages. The second thing I want to talk about with all this is the fact that the 3,500 that are designated to the United States the quota is significantly less than the demand, right? In the United States, before COVID, before Nusuk existed, the local travel agencies would take 20 to 25,000 Hajis a year. Last year, there was some extra quota that was able to be added, and the number for the United States increased to about 9,500 Hajis at the end. This year, they've made it clear that there's not going to be any additional quota. This 35,000 is the hard number, repeatedly since September onwards. So we're talking about 6 months. I'll take the ministry's word on it. It's not going to get increased. And so we're really looking at 3,500 for the US. And what that means is we have at least 3 times the demand versus the number of visas available for our country. Last year, the first round of sales packages sold out within 15 minutes for the US. We're expecting a similar situation this year. And so it's really important that you're well aware of when sales starts, number one. And number two, that you understand how important it is to have your package configured and ready to go, and also what your secondary options would look like if your primary option sells out for any reason. The first thing to consider is the camp. As you can see, if you choose a package with Majar al-Kabsh, you're going to have less of a chance of that package being purchasable right off the bat. Why? Because the demand is much higher for Majar al-Kabsh. It's closer to Jamarat, right? And the capacity is much lower for Majar al-Kabsh compared to Muasim. And you're not only trying to be one of the first 3,500 Americans in this case in order to pick up your package, you have to be one of the first 5,000 people to come onto Nusuk, period, since Majar al-Kabsh this is the worldwide quota. So to kind of get to my point, to sum up my point on this slide is, if your primary goal is to make it on Hajj this year, inshallah, and you're a relatively young person, or you're healthy and you're comfortable doing a little bit of a workout for 3 days and want to increase your chances to be able to go on Hajj, your best shot is to do Al-Muasim camp. It's the one that's less in demand and has much more capacity, so it's a lot easier to pick up. The chances of whatever you have configured in your cart for you to be able to just check out with it are higher. Versus Majar al-Kabsh, if you want to try for it, you're like, no, it's too far of a walk for me, I'm old, or I don't have the energy to walk that much, whatever your scenario may be, or you have someone in your party where you definitely need to be in Majar al-Kabsh, you can go ahead and put that as your configured package in your cart. But keep in mind, all your backups, your 4 to 5 backups or preferred packages that you can put on Nusuk should all be Muasim packages. Because if you log in and your Majar al-Kabsh package is sold out by the time you log in, it is likely the case, highly likely, that all the other Majar al-Kabsh packages have also been sold out and that you need to go to a Muasim package. So instead of taking the time to start looking through all the Majar al-Kabsh packages, don't bother with that. You'll be wasting your time. It's important to just go ahead and go directly into the Muasim camp packages. That's the main discussion, right? You should be having with the family, with whoever is going to be traveling with you for Hajj, inshallah, that if it comes down to Muasim camp, can you do the walk for 3 days? Can we still take the package? Or does it mean that if we can't get Majar al-Kabsh, we're not going to be able to go on Hajj? So have those conversations now and early on, well before sales starts, so that there's no surprises or issues once sales starts, inshallah. So, yep, this is the main thing about Nusuk's numbers here. Before we go any further, I do want to plug in here that if you have any difficulties with the previous steps of Nusuk, including e-wallet, which I know is the biggest issue right now. If e-wallet, you're struggling with it, this is going to be recorded. Trust me, you can go ahead and listen to this later. Most of the information, of course, we're going to go ahead and send messages in the group chat. It's more important you get your e-wallet scenario figured out. So what you can do is, we'll give you a couple of troubleshooting steps here too, but call the help desk, let them help you get your e-wallet topped up. Excuse me. You can check out our YouTube videos for specific examples of different things. Registering to Nusuk, it is a little bit late with tomorrow being sales, but the package is 360, where we describe the different types of packages to help you figure out what's the best package for you. It's something great to look at. E-wallet and package configuration. Our e-wallet and package configuration video is up. Our how to link and delink family members is up and running on the YouTube channel. So if for any reason you have to now remove a person from your family who can no longer go on Hajj, I had an example like that in the call center yesterday. You can go ahead and take a look at those videos and see how you could do that. Okay, so your checklist for Nusuk, right? This is your sales checklist to make sure you are good to go. First and foremost, if you're not already, make sure you go ahead and either join the WhatsApp group, or you go ahead and subscribe to the automated calls that we showed earlier, and text. That way you're up to date with Nusuk. Inshallah, I'm going to go ahead and go through all three of these. But this is the QR code for the WhatsApp group. So if you'd like to go ahead and take a screenshot of that, or sorry, or scan the QR code, you can go ahead and do so. Oh, let me leave it on screen for 30 seconds there. The second step is to make sure you go ahead and configure a package in your cart. This step is especially important because Nusuk made some changes on the website, and now anybody, if you had anything in your cart, it was automatically removed. So make sure you go ahead and go back to your cart and reconfigure your package. If you need any assistance with that, give us a call at the help desk number. That's that 888-899-5606 number. Everybody right now is working 24/7 until the end of sales. So we've got plenty of people here to help you, inshallah, with all of that. But yes, you'll now be able to configure packages. One of the many updates with this, with the configurations that's happened now is that you can no longer choose different occupancies for your different hotels unless there's a restriction with the type of occupancy offered. So what I mean by this is if a package offers double, triples, quads in Makkah and doubles, triple, quads in Medina, and you choose a double room in Medina, you now will automatically also be selected for a double room in Makkah. You can't choose to have a double room in Medina and then a quad room in Makkah. The only scenario where that will happen is, say, if the hotel or the package itself only offers a specific configuration. For example, in our shifting packages in Medina and Makkah, in the main hotels, you have double, triples, quads. So those will automatically be whatever you choose. But in the shifting option, our Azizia hotel only has quads. So automatically, even if you choose a double in Medina, you will be put in a quad for Makkah. So just something to consider. The other thing is make sure the package you are configuring is one of these packages that says custom package. This is the only package that's going to be available to you during the first round of sales. I apologize for repeating, but I've noticed so many people. The call center has been telling me nonstop over the last 2 days that they'll be assisting people and we'll get into a Google Meet. The person will share their screen and they have a public package that's been configured and put into their cart. And what's going to happen is these people aren't realizing that unfortunately when they log in on sales day on February 9th, the package will not be available there. And usually that causes this chain of events basically due to stress and the chaos of sales where they end up purchasing a package that's unideal from every other way. So the main differences between these two package types is that a custom package comes with a group flight from the home country. A public package has no flight included. You have to choose one within the system built into Nusuk called Al-Musafir. It's basically an embedded version of a website platform that's similar to Booking.com or Google Flights based out of the Middle East. So the public packages are basically for round 2, and they're for the international community. For people in the US with our 3,500 quota, 99.999, like, I just don't like to say 100%, but 99.9%, we will sell out that 3,500 in the first round. And so, excuse me, if you don't purchase a package in the first round, and you're thinking you'll be able to pick up a public package in the second round, it's likely the case that you will not be able to do so, mainly because not because there won't be packages available, but because there won't be any quota available, right? The other thing is, besides so the custom flights we've also talked about, group flights with your guide included, we talked about. The last thing that, the main primary purpose of these public packages, right? I understand that people from the US would love to be able to take them and fly from their, home city. So say, for example, you're from Denver, right? You may want to take a custom flight directly from Denver to some layover city in the Middle East and then go to Saudi Arabia from there or to Jeddah from there versus having to take, say the gateway for one of our packages is New York. You would have to go from Denver to New York and then New York onwards, right? And you would prefer not to have to do that. I totally understand that. And that's why people like those public packages. Unfortunately, this year it's going to become a choice between whether you want to take a gateway flight or whether you want to try, your luck for something that I'm telling you. At least the second round is going to be, it won't be possible for the US to participate mainly because of that visa issue. Those public packages are basically meant for countries that are smaller, that have less, demand and less flights that go out of them. Like, for example, last year we had two Hajis from St. Kitts. St. Kitts is a small little island in the Caribbean, and mashallah, there was a few Muslims, I guess, there. And so this family had to take a custom flight and then meet our group in Saudi Arabia because we did not offer a flight from St. Kitts the way we did from, say, DC or New York. The last thing I'll say on this page is that when you're looking at the custom packages, I can totally understand wanting to restrict yourself to a specific gateway. I would say if you're not from one of the cities that is offered as a gateway, or it's not a popular offering of a gateway, to take a look at all the land packages, the land package aspect of the packages first, right? A lot of the cities have limited options on flights. The smaller cities, especially, you don't want to end up in a situation where you filter yourself down that, no, I just want all the flights from, say, SFO. But SFO has like only 3 packages available from that specific city. And so now you've limited yourself from maybe like 200 packages for the US down to 3 packages. Yes, it's unideal to have to fly from San Francisco to New York and then onwards, but at least if you're open to using different gateways, you have a lot more flexibility and options when it comes to what your land package will look like in the KSA. Okay, so the third step, of course, is to choose your preferred packages. So that would be, basically hardening your additional packages that you would be comfortable taking if your first option sells out before you are able to log in for sales. What I'll say here again, excuse me, it's late night here in the KSA, and in prep of sales, we've been really going at it. So I apologize for the yawning. So what we would recommend, especially for people who have Majar al-Kabsh as their first option, make sure you have at least a couple, if not all, your preferred or hearted packages as Mosim packages. In addition, one of the things you want to consider about your backup packages is, like we mentioned, the camp type, but also the package type. Have that conversation with your travel companions, whoever, inshallah, if you're going with a group, like with a spouse or with family members, make sure you're considering all the different scenarios before sales starts, right? So what I mean by this is have that conversation. If Majar al-Kabsh is sold out, what is the preference, right? Maybe your package itself doesn't sell out, but your occupancy does. So say you're a couple and the package you chose, you wanted a double room, but all the double rooms sold out before you got in. And now you got in and you can either get a triple room, or a quad room and split up as a couple, or you delete that and go for a different package altogether. So have that conversation with your spouse in that example beforehand right now, like, hey, would you rather just be separated and stay in the same land package that we like? Or would you, for example, if maybe it's Majar al-Kabsh, like, would you rather stay in Majar al-Kabsh but be in different hotels? Or would you prefer to remove that package from your cart, go to a different package that has, say, Mosim as the camp, but has a double available so that you could stick together? So make those considerations about package type, about camp type, about the hotels, about the occupancy, like every single kind of scenario as far as what could possibly sell out. Maybe there's a package type you like. It's got a flight from New York. It's got a flight from DC. The New York flight sells out. Are you willing to take the DC flight, or would you want to go on a whole different itinerary altogether? All questions to ask and answer right now. Have your list ready to go. Have your backup thoughts written out so that there's no surprises during sales. Okay. E-wallet's topped up. It's super, super important that your e-wallet is topped up to the full amount of your package before sales starts. As you're noticing, Nusuk also keeps going down and up as the traffic load on the website increases. Again, we're talking about 106 different countries that Nusuk will open for tomorrow. So, tens of thousands of people will be on this website. It will be very difficult. I'm so sorry to navigate the website. And so what's super important is you go ahead and top up that e-wallet now. If you're having any trouble with that, feel free to give our offices again a call so we can try to help you out with that. What we recommend is topping up your e-wallet for the full amount of the most expensive package you've preferred, right? So out of the 5 packages, whichever one is the most expensive, configure it completely with your room occupancy type and all that, any additional services you're adding. The final number, take that, multiply that by the number of people in your party. If it's 1 people, if it's 5 people, however many people are in your family, and add that amount to your Nusuk e-wallet. At this point, because of the fact that we're basically less than 24 hours away from sales, credit card or debit card are your only option. Please do not do a bank transfer. It will not get transferred in time onto Nusuk. So you'll need those Visa and MasterCards. One of the other things I want to talk about here is this 3D security issue. Basically, some debit cards and credit cards have this extra layer of security that may block the transaction, right? So some versions, it depends on basically the financial institution. Some versions have it so where they send you an OTP to your email or your phone. For example, Capital One does this. I have the Capital One Venture X. By the way, just I know I can get any sort of boost for saying one card versus the other. I'm just talking from experience here. Has that option. So when I tried to top up an e-wallet, it gave me the code directly to my text. I was able to verify and go through this step. Some of these systems are automated on the back end. They don't give the option to the customer to get a code and confirm. So that 3D security happens at the back end and gets rejected from the financial institution. The most often places we're seeing this specifically is Bank of America that's giving a hard time, and Chase as well. You have to call the fraud department of these credit cards and talk to them, tell them I need to do an international transaction in a large amount. I need to have my 3D security temporarily disabled. And you've got to specifically tell this to the fraud department. And, we've been helping people for this last year. We've been helping people with this year. If you hit the first level of customer service and they're telling you, no, this isn't a thing, you have to push back a little bit. You got to fight them a little bit. You got to tell them, let me talk to your supervisor. Kind of have to escalate up until you can get someone who actually knows about the specific issue. I can go ahead and disable it. Our recommendation is usually by the time you get to this point, you've been on the phone for an hour with these people. Make sure you try to top up the e-wallet on the phone with them and tell them if you're having any issues. You can tell them, look, I know that it's the issue of the verification, this 3D issue. Other people have had the same issue, and this is how they've been able to resolve it, so that they take you a little bit seriously on the matter too. The packages that we offer this year, we're going to offer some custom packages and some public packages. We did include just the names real quick of the public packages here, but overall we've been ignoring them just because they're not available for the US market. You can take a screenshot if you'd like, but these are our custom packages that we'll be supporting during round 1 and that come with flights from the United States from 4 different cities, including New York, Washington, D.C., LA, and Chicago. Those are our public packages. This is a overview of all the packages that we will be offering, inshallah, for the first round of sales. So in these packages, what you'll see, this color coding is basically the standard of the package, luxury shifting, standard, and then we've got these 2 extra Raji packages that we've recently added. The pricing you're seeing here is including the flights, basically what the final cost should be at the end. The main reason I do this again is I know how frustrating it is. Nusuk in the beginning just gives you the base price, and so you don't have a full idea of how much you're going to be charged until you take all that time to configure it. So with these numbers, you can rest assured it's the number at the end with the flight included. In addition, the dollar amounts are a rough conversion based on 3.75 conversion rate. To give you an idea of what the final cost would look like to you in dollars too, and to help you with your decision-making process as far as the right package for you. Alhamdulillah, all of our luxury packages are the clock tower, the shifting packages. the Hanum stays in clock towers, and we've worked quite hard over the course of the last couple months to try to make sure we not only get you the best, most convenient product, but also something that's cost effective. Alhamdulillah. The first versions of these packages, I was getting quotes from Ithraa AlKhair for 18, 20, $22,000 packages, and which I am seeing in the market. But I'm so happy that we were able to work out with them and help bring everything, well under the $18,000 range. At the highest, we're hitting the right below, what do you call, 17,000 US dollars. So in addition to the pricing information over here, on this page, we have the configuration links, which you'll see to the side. What this means is if you have the PDF version of this during sales, you can easily log into your Nusuk account and click on one of these links in order to get access to a specific package. Inshallah, I'll go ahead and show how that's done in a minute here. Just give me one moment here. So I'll let you guys, if you'd like to take a screenshot of this page, take a screenshot of it. What I'm going to do is about what do you call? Take excuse me. What we're gonna do is do a live demo of the packages. Sorry, how to configure the links and all that. So give me one moment here. I just gotta pull up the account. So let's go to Nusuk Hajj. And actually, while I log in, let me take a look. I know there was some Q&As coming in. Inshallah, I'll go ahead and address all of them at the end for sure. But I figured while I'm doing this, let me see if I can take a brief look. Okay. Okay, yes. So there's a couple of updates that are in the group chat here. Number one is somebody is a KC resident, and I apologize. The question that you're asking, I'm a little confused about it. If you don't mind shooting a text to our call center number that you have down there on the screen in front of you, inshallah, we'll try to help you out with that. What about the change on groups as we have emails today? As far as the timing goes, if that's what you're referring to, yes, the timing has been changed to 7 p.m. Makkah time, which is 11 a.m. New York time. Give me one second. I'm gonna go back to our Ithraa AlKhair group chat. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. We actually put it in the WhatsApp group chat earlier today, so I just want to take a look and get you the right info. Okay, so they went ahead and changed the timing so that it's going to be 11 a.m. New York time, 10 a.m. Chicago time, 9 a.m. Denver time, and 8 a.m. Los Angeles time. So it's gone 5 hours later, basically. Hope that helps, inshallah. And I apologize, I have to get the OTP didn't come through in time. I can try to provide Sister Rocky the automatic call number. I don't know if that information is available in the software we use, but I'll try. Cash App has also been working. That is correct. I forgot to mention it, but someone actually a Haji was able to, who was struggling, was able to do this and let us know that if you're not able to go ahead and uh, log into your, or sorry, make a payment from your credit card, sorry, your credit card or your debit card, Cash App is also an option you have available to you. Okay, so I did go ahead and answer the timing question. From Medina to Makkah, will transportation be via train or bus for package 106? It'll be from bus, inshallah. So all the packages will be from bus, including the standard 106. The only difference is if you're in a Majar al-Qabs package, then during the days of Mashayar, you'll have access to the train. So let's see here. Oh, OTP is getting delayed. Sorry, apologize for that. So, yes, I hope that answers your question regarding the train. Uh, I may have to give it a couple minutes to be able to resend the OTP here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try a different account. Uh, and see if I can get it from there. Perfect. We actually been using these demo accounts for the last couple of let me go ahead and share my screen again, actually. Um, inshallah, we'll go ahead and show you a couple of things over here. First, what you'll notice is whatever package you go ahead and book should show up here as your package. The additional thing that you can do here is see your package configured over here as well, right? The final thing to keep in mind over here is that on the day of sales, inshallah tomorrow, this will say checkout. So you'll just click this, click one more button at the to confirm and be able to check out. Definitely do not just immediately leave the website. Make sure it starts processing. Inshallah, hopefully, with the fact that these packages don't have custom flights, that it has a group flight included, it shouldn't take too long to verify. But make sure you're staying in the website and on that page until the package gets verified. In addition to making sure that that you get an email from Nusuk essentially confirming that your package has been purchased. You don't want to lose out on your chance of Hajj because of a technical issue on Nusuk's end. The other thing is, unfortunately, you can only configure one package at a time. So I will have to remove this package in order to go ahead and choose a new one. So let me go ahead and show you what that would look like. So let's go ahead and empty your cart. So now that our cart is empty, I can go ahead and configure a new package. The very first thing you should do with all of this is go ahead and filter to custom packages. Since again, like I've repeated multiple times in today's session, you're not going to be able to um, pick up a public package tomorrow. Now, the other thing you'll notice over here is the fact that each of these packages from all these different companies have different flags on them. 85, this is one of our packages, has the American flag on it. You'll see this company has the UK flag. I believe this might be the Spanish flag. Basically, the point is that when you filter by custom packages, it doesn't just show you the packages for the United States, it just shows you all the packages that have flights included as part of the itinerary. That it's a custom flight package for somewhere in the world. So unfortunately, you would have to go through and look at just the American or US based options if you're from the US. For us, it's a little bit easier, which you can go ahead and do if you're looking at, you've already decided on which package you'd like to go with from us. You can go ahead and click on Ithraa AlKhair. The other thing you can very easily do, by the way, is just search up the package over here, right? So for example, let's do package 65. You can do it and it'll promptly bring up 65, even in the non-filtered version. So you can go ahead and do this. See all the details here. Brother Samer, I do see your hand up. If you don't mind just leaving your question in the Q&A, and inshallah, as soon as I get done with the configuration, I'll go ahead and take a look at your question. So when you're configuring, you do have to go all the way to the bottom and go to the right over here in order to go ahead and configure your package. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's a new thing that they've got going on over here where if you choose a triple occupancy, you will automatically get the triple occupancy in the other hotel. You can't do it where you do triple here and quad here or double here and quad here. The reason why Al Jaber Towers doesn't automatically get added is for the same reason I mentioned earlier, which is that the Azizia Hotel is only available in the quad. So if you did quad here, you'd do quad here as well, and you'd be able to finish up real easily. For the other options, what you could do is, for example, a couple could choose a double here and just be in a quad in the shifting package. The other thing to take in consideration over here is this is a demo account that we have, so it only has one person on it. But say you're a couple or two people, you would have to press this plus button twice in order to have two beds to represent the two people, right? Because it's each number represents one bed in a shared room. You can also cross occupy in the sense that say there's 5 people in your party, 2 men, 2 women. You could go ahead and you want one double room, one triple room for them, so that you don't have to share with anybody else outside of your family. You could do 2 beds in a double room and then 3 beds in a triple room and check out that way. The other thing is if you went, for example, and did for those 5 people, you could also just do the quad room option and just do +5 times, right? And with that option, what would happen is basically the 2 men would be in one room with 2 other men who are not from the family, and the 3 women would be in another room with 1 other woman to make it a quad who isn't part of their family. Okay, and so now you can go ahead and click continue here, and you'll be on the additional services page, right? The additional services here, you'll notice here that Adahi recently got added. This has not been completed just yet from Nusuk. I imagine in another update over the next 20 or so hours that we have till sales begins, this will be added on. Adahi is basically the agency that the Saudi government has that takes care of sacrifices or hadi or qurbani related to Hajj. Basically, they're integrating it so that you could purchase it at the time of checkout. You don't have to worry, even if this option isn't available by tomorrow. A dahi is or your hadi, your qurbani is very easy to purchase, both online after sales is over on the Idahi website directly in the month of Dhul Qaidah, inshallah, or on the ground in Saudi Arabia. You have plenty of options. You can use a credit card, you can pay cash. There'll be options at, so many options to do it. So don't stress about this one, inshallah. The wheelchair option, make sure if you need a wheelchair, keep in mind this is a manual wheelchair and it's basically only a wheelchair that will be provided to you at your first hotel in the case of our packages in Medina. And so this is really meant for people who may have someone in their party who would struggle to walk a lot, but also has someone in that family who can push that person. This room upgrade and laundry options, they're basically there as requests. There's no guarantees. It's basically just to help your service provider know this is something you would want, so that if the option is available at your hotel, they can let you know. And it would be, whatever additional costs related to that. So on this page, you will go ahead and choose your custom flight. I did notice somebody asked if we had flights from Chicago. We do have flights from Chicago. In fact, our luxury package is from Chicago. So if you, Brother Nasser, want to get in touch with our call center, you can do so. And they'll be able to assist you with our package options, or inshallah in the group chat, we're always sharing that info as well. Oops, sorry, give me 1 second here. I think I accidentally changed something here. And the share requirements. Okay. The package name for Chicago. Give me 1 moment here. Sorry, I know I got a little off track there. It's Ithraa 21, inshallah. We can go ahead and take a look at that. So this is the flights page where we're going ahead and confirming this information. And then let's take a look here. The transportation option page, you may have noticed that this changed slightly. What's happened is you now have to click on the fact that you're taking the transportation that's included with your package. So just to clarify, there's no additional added charges that are being put onto your package. It's really what's happening is that the transportation cost has been separated and you're forced to click through those options as well. What was happening before, it was bundled into the main cost of the package. If you take a look at these numbers here, it's still equivalent to whatever we have on our sheets for these amounts. So just to let you know that that's what's happened there. On the configuration details page, inshallah, you'll be able to go ahead and review all your decision making related to your package. Most of it would just be, verifying that everything in your package is there. The only thing where you would want to make sure you didn't make any mistakes is your configuration page. Your bed or room hotel configuration page. Everything else is pretty much the same. You can go ahead and also review the cancellation policy for Nusuk. The final thing on this page that I'd like to go ahead and note is the fact that my e-wallet balance is showing up as red because I have $0 in this account. It's a, dummy account or a demonstration account. I haven't put any money in it. So since I do not have the full amount of the balance in here, it's showing me the amount in red. Make sure for you guys when you're configuring that this amount is in black and good to go. So say that this is the most expensive package you have in your cart. What I would say is make sure you just round up slightly. So 44 to 200 should be more than enough. But say you have another package that's, I don't know, 44 335. Make sure you put the 335 or the 400 in your e-wallet, top up to that amount, so that just in case you're not able to go for your first choice and you end up in your second choice, you still have enough money in your e-wallet to get your secondary option. Once you go ahead and save configuration, there's a bunch of disclaimers from Nusuk. Most of these are about custom flights that wouldn't be applicable to you. The last one about making sure your e-wallet is topped up is the one that I mentioned as well. And now, alhamdulillah, your package has been saved and it's ready to basically go. If you want to check out, you'd be able to check out for this package. What you can also do is the 4 or 5 backup options that you've now discussed with your family. You can go ahead and heart them, and that would make them your preferred packages. So during sales, if whatever's in your cart, you come log in and your cart is empty because something is sold out about your package, whether that be it gives you the alert that Majaro Cups is sold out, you have a cups package, so now you have to move to a Molassin package, or maybe doubles aren't available, and it's telling you either choose a triple or empty your cart, and you want to empty your cart, you can either empty your cart, you can either check out, or you can, if it's completely empty, just come to this packages page. That's where I clicked. Okay. And then you'll see over here, view preferred packages on the left side. Go ahead and filter by that. And so now you'll be able to see all the packages that you've hearted. We've got like 5 Raji packages over here. And inshallah, you'll be able to go ahead and check out with any of these. Alhamdulillah, the great thing that we have is we have 5 different luxury shifting packages. So if you were doing, for example, the luxury shifting example, and wanted to stay with our team, you have plenty of options to choose from as your backups. Most people, I understand, want to keep Gupsh as their primary option in the cart. Just make sure you've got plenty of Molassin packages available as well. And actually, while we're at it, I would love to point out the fact that alhamdulillah, we were able to offer a standard package with Gupsh included at a reasonable pricing. So just because you can't get or a luxury package is out of your price range doesn't mean you can't try for Majaro Cup if you've got people in your family who may struggle to do that walk to Jamarat. Okay, so I think I pretty much went ahead and went over everything we needed to in Nusuk. So I'm going to go back to our presentation here. Oh, one last thing I want to show you guys, right? So I'm logged into Nusuk right now. If so, we come here to this screen. I just want to make sure it's showing for you guys. And you see these links, we'll send them to you as a PDF, inshallah. But the idea is if you click on them, I gotta see if that's showing you. Oh wait, hold on. I just want to make sure this account is still okay. So let's say I'm in the packages here. Let me go ahead and copy that link again. So I copied the link from our Canva deck. Oh, hold on. Take a look here. Okay, actually what I'm going to do is choose it from our public files that we've made. Give me one moment here. I'm going to bring it into the thing. So this, by the way, is a public Google Drive that we've set up, inshallah, to help you have access to everything you would need for sales. A lot of people were asking specific questions on flights too. All that info is over here. If you click on the detailed flight information, we've included the flight that's with every single package, including the airline, the route, the flight numbers, the departure dates, the layover times, the arrival times, the departure, like every single possible thing related to the flights so that you can choose the best options for you. And then under the custom packages, we have all the other details for the packages over here, including the pricing and some of the other stuff that we were talking about. So during sales, you can see here that if I click on the configuration link, it pops up And for some reason, I guess, hold on, let me try to log into this account real quick. One more time to see what's going on here. Or actually, I'm sorry, let me do this. Oh, let's go to the dashboard here. Okay, perfect. Ah, no, it's gonna be the wrong link. One moment here, brothers and sisters. Okay. There we go. I'll have to go ahead and fix the ones that are in the Canva deck, but the ones that are going to be in our public Google folder are the correct ones. Basically, you can go ahead and take a look over here and click on the configuration link. Instead of clicking and going into it directly, just copy it. Go to your browser where you have Nusuk opened up. So for example, I'll go back to the dashboard here. And if you go ahead and paste the configuration link, it'll take you directly to the package's configuration links. So what's good is if you've got 2, 3 options with us that you like, sorry, what you can go ahead and do is have those configuration links ready over here. If your first package ends up being sold out, what you can do is quickly hop here, copy the configuration link, and paste it directly into the URL link here, or the search bar here, and it'll directly bring you to the page where you just got to start now configuring the betting and stuff. And the idea is like doing sales, just get an idea. Oh, I forgot I have to empty my cart. But so say your cart has been removed because of the fact that your package is sold out. I quickly copied, pasted my link, +1. Don't even have to do the second one here because that's done. No additional services, that's done. You choose your flight, get through that. I mean, I think this process will take me less than 60 seconds. And I mean, you can confirm everything and save configuration. And on that date, you should be able to just check out, right? So less than a minute, and inshallah, you'll be good to go. So that was just kind of the last bit I want to show you with the link so that you guys are well aware of that. And so, yep, this is actually the QR link for that public Google Drive if you want to go ahead and notate it. Although this information will be put in the group chat as well. We have all these links and stuff ready. We've just been breaking it up throughout the day so that we're not sending you too many messages in one shot and that people aren't disregarding some of these important updates. But you can go ahead and basically scan or screenshot this QR code as well. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Okay, and finally, that's just the information for our offices, right? So inshallah, if you have any questions or anything like that, I will go ahead and answer the Q&A questions right now. Also, we still are going to continue to do our office hours. You know, normally we start at 9 p.m. Today, inshallah, we're going to go ahead and start at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. New York time, in order to go ahead and do an extended version of office hours, make sure we're getting all your questions answered. It's exactly what it sounds like. There's no presentation from my end. I'm just sitting here as a virtual office for you to come in, ask your questions, go as you please. In addition to that, you can always call this number 24/7. Someone is going to be there. They can go ahead and answer your questions as well. Okay, brother.